Hello, everybody. Simon Fiore here with Fintracker, and we're here to introduce our 2.0 full version with new remote ID and many other new features that are coming in the coming days. For those of you already using the application, you are familiar with the current process. For those of you that are new, welcome to the Fintracker team. Once you've signed into the application and confirm your identity using our facial biometrics feature or thumbprint, or maybe you've referred to your 4-digit PIN or full sign-in. I use facial biometrics. Starting a transaction by pressing the plus icon on the bottom right, new individual ID, scan from photo, use your camera, quick instructions are given, wave the ID into that space. If the ID is expired or fraudulent, we will detect that, get a current document, and proceed with the steps. The only fields you have to complete in order to save this will be the occupation fields, which will populate to the occupation field on the CREA form. The reason we've broken it up into 3 fields is to protect you from deficiencies as the auditors or examiners are asking us to elaborate on that section. Your name, your brokerage, today's date, and now all your clients' info has been populated to the form in seconds. Pressing save will allow you to store it in your incompleted folder, and when the deal materializes or the listing, you can go ahead and complete it. For those of you who want to do this properly, please complete this in real time. Selecting buyer or seller so your office knows if a listing or an offer is coming behind this. Sending a disclosure statement to your client who may want to know why this is required by law. Simply enter their email and send a Fintrack disclosure with a link to the Fintrack website. The transaction property address map widget will allow you to avoid abbreviated province, city, and missing postal codes. Set that for your transaction. It knows it's a government issued ID. In the event you're using a dual ID process, your client does not have a photo ID, you can select dual ID and all the mandatory fields will open up for you. We're a fully robust solution. In this case, government issued photo ID. Third party, no, there is no third party. Canadian citizen, business relationship, which should be treated on every transaction now. It is considered a business relationship, so complete this section. We've added a free pre-populated suggestions. Maybe you ask your client for a current document each time, or maybe your office policy is to run the client's name through some lists or search on the internet. I'm going to select the first one. Politically exposed. If your client's politically exposed, select yes, and the mandatory questions will pop up at the bottom. If no, none of the above. We will still attach the politically exposed form to the transaction kit stating none of the above or not applicable. How did you ask? You asked the individual in person. Select today's date and save. If there is another individual on the offer or the listing, you can add a new individual, or if they're representing a corporation, select new corporation. In this case, we're going to do a new receipt of funds. If you're collecting a deposit, we've pre-populated all your clients' info, your info, and leaving a few fields to complete. Don't be afraid to make any mistakes when using the Fintracker app. If you try and submit a form and you miss a few fields, we'll take you to those fields and ask you to complete them. In the event that you receive a bank draft from your client, it's important that you ask the client for the origins account number, where the funds are drawn from. The bank draft will have the bank institution account number on it. You will need to ask the client for the origins account to avoid raising a suspicious transaction report. Enter that information under account number 2. For today, we'll stay with just a check, in person, purpose of deposit, residential property. We'll complete the account information, and we are working on a check scanning feature that will populate all this for you. ABC Bank. We're not doing any promoting here today. save, submit, select the 2 forms you completed, hit next. It will take it to your compliance officer, or you can send it by PDF to a recipient of choice. Select neither, hit the submit. It'll allow you to open up the PDF and upload to a document management system. So we have something for everyone's workflows. When working with the client again, simply start a transaction, new individual ID, search previous, enter the client's name, and we'll recall the data to complete under a new transaction property address. We are storing this information for you, and we port it back in one transaction at a time from our secure server using SSL encryption. When working with a client that is not physically present, we've added the new remote ID. Send your client the link. They can temporarily identify themselves with the link from the app, agreeing to the terms, getting started, selecting the document. They can allow access to their camera, scan the front. Yes, it's clear. Scan the back. We're authenticating the document based on a few checkpoints like color, size, etc. Extracting the information from the barcode, auto-populating it to your form in the Fintracker app in real time. And then we're asking the client to authenticate their identity using artificial intelligence. We will use facial biometrics that they will agree to scan, and a quick tutorial video will pop up, and we will verify their identity and authenticate it against the ID piece. A quick scan is done. A report is sent confirming that the transaction is done. And where you will locate that is under New Individual ID, select from Remote ID, which is a search field available there. Select the client's info, complete the third party, risk assessment, business relationship, and submit. In the completed form for the remote ID process will be sent to your compliance officer as a CRIA licensed FinTrack form, and will include the politically exposed, even though you selected none of the above, and a full report on all the checkpoints we did to identify or verify the document, ensure that there's no forgery, and authenticate the individual using physical document captured. Okay? Thank you for using Fintracker. All the tutorial videos are at the top right under the Help tab. For refreshers, you can contact us in real time, and we highly recommend you subscribe to our YouTube page for new features that continue to come up. Get back to building relationships and let Fintracker help with your compliance. Make it a great day.